All right, let's talk bathrooms. If you're even thinking about a remodel, you know there's this razor-thin line between creating your own personal spa and, well, a daily frustration. So today, we're going to break down the essential rules, the stuff that really makes or breaks a bathroom so you can get it right the first time.
Yeah, I know. That's a pretty intense question, right? Is my bathroom illegal? But honestly, it's a real thing. A ton of DIY projects or just poorly planned layouts actually fail inspection, and that costs you time, money, and a whole lot of headaches. But you know what's even worse? When it just feels wrong, cramped, awkward, just not what you dreamed of.
But hey, that's not going to be you, because in the next few minutes, we're going to give you the keys. We're going to arm you with everything you need to know to design a bathroom that doesn't just pass code, but one that feels amazing to be in every single day.
I mean, this is it, right? This is the fear that keeps people up at night when they're remodeling. You're pouring all this money and effort into a project, and the last thing you want is a toilet so close to the wall you can't even sit down comfortably, or a door that smacks into the vanity every single time you open it. We are going to make sure that that does not happen. Okay, so here's the absolute most important thing to get your head around. There are two sets of numbers you need to know. Think of it like this. First, you've got the building code. That's the bare minimum, the C- grade you need just to pass. But then you have the comfort recommendations. And these are the numbers that make a space actually feel good, that make it work for a real human being. The secret to an amazing bathroom? It's knowing the huge difference between the two. And just look at this table. This is where it gets really interesting, because the gap between legal and livable can be massive. Take a look at the front clearance, the space in front of your toilet or sink. Code says 21 inches is fine. 21 inches! But for real comfort, you want 30. That's a 9-inch difference. That completely changes everything about how that space feels and functions. We're going to dig into each of these. So how do you actually visualize all this? Well, here's the best trick I know. I call it the invisible bubble. Just imagine that every single thing in your bathroom, the toilet, the sink, the shower, has its own little personal space bubble around it. And nothing, absolutely nothing, can pop that bubble. If you can keep that one idea in your head, I promise you, planning your layout will be a million times easier. All right, let's start breaking down these bubbles. We'll look at what each fixture needs to, breathe. And we have to start with the toilet because honestly, it's usually the trickiest one to get right. Okay, first rule of Toilet Club. Side clearance. The code says you need at least 15 inches from the very center of the toilet to a wall or a vanity or anything else. So that gives you a 30-inch wide space total, right? That's the bare minimum. But that's not what we're aiming for, is it? No, we're aiming for this number, 18 inches. That gives you a much more comfortable 36-inch total width. This is the number to burn into your brain. I know it doesn't sound like a lot, just 3 extra inches on each side, but trust me, when you're actually using the bathroom, it makes a world of difference. Exactly. This is literally the difference between feeling all squeezed in and actually having some comfortable elbow room. It's not about a checklist for an inspector. It's about not feeling like you're stuck in an airplane bathroom every single morning. It's about ease, not just existence. Okay, same idea, but now let's talk about the space in front of the toilet and the sink. The building code, get this, only requires 21 inches of clear space. That's less than 2 feet. It's barely enough room to even stand there, let alone bend over the sink to brush your teeth without hitting the wall behind you. So what's the magic number for comfort? 30 inches. It's a huge jump, but that extra 9 inches is what makes the room actually usable. It means you have space to dry off with a towel, you can open the vanity door without backing into the toilet, you can actually walk through the room. It's not a luxury, it's just functional. And I mean, come on, who hasn't been in that bathroom? You know the one, where you're just trying to exist and someone swings the door open and nearly takes out your kneecaps. That's what this 30-inch bubble prevents. It's about avoiding those classic, super annoying design mistakes that make a space feel terrible. All right, let's talk showers. The code gets a little technical here. It says something about 900 square inches and a 30-inch minimum dimension. But what that really boils down to is a 30 by 30-inch box. And look, it's legal, it works. But have you ever been in a 30-inch shower? It's cozy, maybe a little too cozy. This right here, 36 by 36 inches, this is the sweet spot. I'd almost call it the gold standard for a shower that feels great. It's the size that lets you turn around without smacking your elbows on the glass. It's what transforms a quick rinse into a genuinely relaxing experience. So what the code is really trying to do is make sure a 30-inch circle can fit inside. That's the logic. But when you upgrade to a 36-inch square, the difference in usable, functional space is it's huge. Honestly, if you have the room for it, this is one of the single best upgrades you can make to a bathroom.
Okay, so we've got the rules. We understand the invisible bubbles for each fixture. So now for the fun part. How do we put all these pieces together like a puzzle? Let's look at a few classic, tried-and-true layouts that just work.
We'll cover the big three: the classic 5x8 full bath, a more efficient 3/4 bath, and of course the little powder room. But let's kick things off with the one you see everywhere. Yep, the 5x8. This is the workhorse of American bathrooms. It's the default layout for a reason. It's super efficient at cramming a tub, a toilet, and a sink into just 40 square feet. But even with a classic layout, you've got to follow the rules to make it feel right.
And the recipe is pretty straightforward. Your 60-inch tub goes right against that short 5-foot wall. Easy. Then, the toilet gets tucked in next to it, and you're going to get out your tape measure and make sure you've got at least 15 inches from its center to the tub on one side and the wall on the other. Now, the vanity is key. You've got to keep it a little shallower, say 21 inches deep, so you don't crowd the toilet's front clearance. And for the love of all that is holy, use a door that swings out, or better yet, a pocket door. It solves so many problems.
Okay, but what if your bathroom is tiny? Like really tiny and awkward? Don't despair. There are some awesome pro tips, total game changers, that are perfectly code-friendly and can make even the smallest bathroom feel way bigger than it is.
Let's run through a few of my favorites. 1. Wall-hung toilets and vanities. Getting stuff off the floor is magic. It instantly makes the room feel more open. 2. Recessed niches in the shower. You get storage for your shampoo without a shelf sticking out and stealing precious elbow room. 3. A big, clear glass shower door. It tricks the eye into seeing one large room instead of a small room with a box in it. And 4. The king of all space savers, the pocket door. It is the ultimate problem solver when clearances are tight.
So there you have it. You've got the secret handshake now. You know the difference between just passing code and creating real comfort. You've got the invisible bubble concept in your back pocket, and you've seen how it all comes together in some real-world layouts. So now the ball's in your court. You've got the rules. How are you going to design your space?